Since its creation in 1924, 16 visionary and talented musicians have donned the title of maestro, music director, and conductor, and led the Amarillo Symphony to its enviable legacy of 88 successful seasons. Grace Hamilton, Hall Axtell, Ellis B. Hall, Christian Lowe, T. Duncan Stewart, and Edgar Parsons, H.L. Robinson, Murray Meeker, James Flory, Robert Louis Barron, A. Clyde Roller, Thomas Hostott, Thomas Conlon, Robert Bernhardt, James Sedapin, and Kimbo Ichieto. Armed with a clear mission from the Amarillo Symphony Board of Directors, 14 brave and tenacious volunteers, including Executive Director Susan White, 3 Amarillo Symphony Board members, 6 Amarillo Symphony musicians, 3 community members, and Chairwoman Laura Street began their worldwide search in May of 2011 for music director and conductor number 17, who will lead the Amarillo Symphony in its 89th season and beyond.
And we put the word out to all the usual places that you put out for a music director, and what came back were 213 applications from all over the world, and what was really interesting, from all different areas of education and experience and what they wanted to do according to their resumes and their career statements with their lives.
Over 200 applications poured in from 15 countries: Austria, Brazil, Bulgaria, Canada, Chile, Germany, Great Britain, Ireland, Italy, Mexico, Portugal, Russia, Scotland, Spain, and the United States.
We had to define ourselves as an orchestra and as an organization to be able to say, this is the kind of conductor and music director we need. The challenge was, how are we going to narrow that down to 3 finalists? And the search committee, I have to say, in living with each other for 2 years through this process, they came on Saturdays. We spent all day Saturday going through videos, resumes, talking about education. Of course, the musicians had to teach the non-musicians on that search committee about, what are we looking for here as far as music was concerned. We wrote a music director profile that gave us the things that we wanted in terms of musicology or artistic direction, administration, and community perspective.
Half of our committee is made up of musicians, and it was very interesting and exciting to hear their perspective on what they needed from a musical director and conductor. And my background was as a community member and an audience member, and so it was interesting to see the subtle differences between those two focuses.
Well, honestly, of course, I wanted a top-level musician. That's we all agreed on that. That's something. Personally, my little side is because I'm kind of so heavily involved in all these different community organizations here, and see the connections between WT and the school district and all. And I hold out that hope for someone who's very connected to those ideas and works really hard at keeping those connections in an area like this where we just have to all work together, or we can't any one being particularly weak pulls us all down.
I love the symphony, I love the orchestra, and I think that it is such a jewel for Amarillo. It's one of our treasures, and so I'm honored to be a part of it and be involved in any way I can. And it's just it's really it's a work of love. I mean, it's just pure joy for me. So yeah, it was a lengthy process and involved a lot of time, but it was a labor of love.
We had over 200 candidates apply, and that was really well, in my mind, it was quite extraordinary. I was thinking, how in the world could we possibly do due diligence with over 200 applications? And so we broke into smaller groups, and then those groups came back with the top of their list, and then we would discuss them as a group, as a whole, and consider them. So we were able to whittle down the over 200 to finally 90 candidates. And we decided it was very important. We had to see their conducting styles in order to really judge them properly. And so we requested DVDs from all those 90 candidates, and we watched each one of them.
We finally narrowed it down to 3 candidates for our finalists. And we did Skype interviews actually for the last 10, and we narrowed it down to 3 and decided to bring them in. And those 3 were so different, and we chose those 3 because of their differences. We knew that we needed a music director who was going to be a great fit for us all the way around. But did we know what that fit should be? Not yet. We had to have them come in and have them work with us, talk with us, show us what they can do, show us what they want for the future before we would know which one would be the right fit. All 3 of them are wonderful when it comes to music.
I did get to meet all 3 of them, and I, so many people said, and I agreed, that we couldn't do wrong. We couldn't make a bad choice, and I did agree with that, but I also have to think that we got the best one.
Our new conductor has some very exciting education programs that he would like to try here in Amarillo. They're very systemic and vertical, starting with the very youngest of our students, growing it in through middle school into high school, and hopefully culturing our young people, the 20-somethings, and make the symphony have a foot in the past and very reverent. I think he has a great reference for the past, musically and for the Amarillo community, but he also has some great, energetic, new ideas that the youth, I think, will be very, very attracted to. I'm excited because I can't wait to invite my students to come to concerts, and I think he wants to have them more involved. Instead of just passive listening, he really wants to encourage and develop the audience as active listeners, people who are really invested in the music.
He's so full of ideas, he's so innovative that it's inspiring, and it just makes you want to be involved and help him succeed, because he has some wonderful ideas that this community is going to be exposed to.
I think we're going to have somebody here that has an ability to go out and drum up and fire up the community to bring new things, make new things happen, just create a new dynamic, a new excitement within the community. We got the best one.
Oh, wow. This is the most fun part. To know what we know as a committee about all 3 of our finalists, who were so wonderful. The hardest thing in the world is to try and choose from those 3 finalists. But to come to the person that we chose, now that is finished, now we can look forward to the future. Now we can really see the passion, the energy, the wonderful education, the wonderful experience, the idea that this person has about youth, about community, the ideas that he has about fundraising and development, which is sometimes unusual with a music director, about what they want to do to make the Amarillo Symphony Orchestra the organization, the nonprofit organization of our community, to become the organization of civic stature, not only for our patrons in the audience, but for the whole community.
He had done his homework, and he saw what a wonderful reputation our symphony enjoyed.
He came across as so unpretentious, yet confident in who he is and what he's doing. Yeah, he's going to fit us well.
Strong, clear leadership, confident, poised.
Musicality. He is superb, and that's very exciting.
He's very direct. He knows exactly what he wants, but that's one of the reasons we loved this man.
He's so full of ideas, he's so innovative that it's inspiring.
I think the possibilities for the Amarillo Symphony are, the sky's the limit. I think we're going to go in a very, the word's not aggressive, but we're going to go like a rocket. We're going to lay down a trail, and we're going to follow that trail, and nothing's going to get in our way.
Ladies and gentlemen, announcing the 17th music director and conductor of the Amarillo Symphony.